Today's been the very first event for a Northwest regional collaborate. What we've done is brought together not just GPs but importantly nurses. We've had pharmacists here, we've had practice managers and we've had federation managers. The main aim and the main outcome from today is really to listen to those leaders and to empower those leaders to shape a new form of leadership within primary care.
I think there are some very good leaders within the NHS, but I think predominantly they are managers, and I think we need much more clinical leadership. Clinical leadership is allowed to be free to express itself properly within the NHS.
I suppose when you think about leadership, you tend to think of the people that you see on your TV or that you see in your local organisations. How I've got involved is more wanting to change things maybe from the grassroots up, so more perhaps a collaborative approach, a communication approach, sharing things with like-minded colleagues.
I think that when you have got local leaders and local people in charge, the way they'd like to behave isn't necessarily the way they're allowed to behave because of a top-down must-do approach and target-driven culture that actually distorts things and moves people away from working together. We're looking for win-win and quite often we get win-lose.
My experience has been sometimes the higher up in leadership circles you go, perhaps sometimes the less human it becomes. Good leadership to me is about humility, vulnerability, honesty, rehumanising the system by genuinely having good relationships together.
It feels to me that there's an energy here to try to see what we can do to change things, to improve things, and how a network of support between people will actually achieve that.
What's been an important part of this Northwest event is to introduce people to this concept of generative listening.
The generative listening, where you're actually trying to look perhaps rather more poker-faced, doesn't fit with the way most GPs would work on a day-to-day basis. We're used to more active listening, getting patients in the consulting room to contribute. So I think our skills are very much more in that direction. So generative listening, where you're looking at people in a far more neutral way, is difficult.
The first 90 seconds that we did it just felt long, it just felt uncomfortable, but when we did it for a longer period of time, it was interesting. When I was interviewing, I found who I was interviewing told me a lot more, I think, than they planned to.
I had an opportunity during one of the sessions to have a few moments of mindfulness with the group, and it was quite interesting, the feedback afterwards, and people wanted to know more and talk about their experiences already with mindfulness, and I think that's something we need to maybe tap into a little bit more.
The change we need within the NHS is something I'm hugely passionate about, and so I will take every opportunity I get, just over coffee or in meetings or in front of big rooms of people, to talk about this stuff.
We've tried to cram a lot into a very short space of time and introduce some very new concepts to people, and very importantly to ask those people to shape what collaborate, where it goes, what it does, how it functions.